Hello, I'm Amelia Ruby, and welcome to my tiny tarot practice. Today's card is the Six of Wands. In the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the Six of Wands features a figure wearing a laurel wreath. It looks like a victory crown on their head. They're atop a horse. They're carrying a wand that also has a wreath attached to it, and they appear victorious, heralded by people behind them carrying 5 other wands to make up the 6. The horse is shrouded in a beautiful robe or garment, as is the person riding the horse. And the scene just feels buoyant, exuberant, victorious. And a traditional interpretation of this card is simply victory. The fruits of your success coming out of the melee of the 5 of Wands, that training, that playful battle has led to a victory, an achievement of some sort. I also love how the True Heart Intuitive Tarot pictures this card. On it, there is an outstretched palm that has a nest in it and what appears to be, I think, a hawk sitting atop the nest wearing a crown, and the 6 wands are like kind of coming out of the crown or making a halo of it. And we see the palm, the hand that's outstretched on the wrist. There's a light tattoo of a wreath and a crown. And there are also 6 blackbirds with eyes on their wings in this image. It's just such a beautiful interpretation of this card. And while a traditional interpretation is just victory, I think that the True Heart Intuitive Tarot points to something, another side of victory, of achievement. We see the victorious, beautiful golden hawk wearing the crown, but we also see 6 blackbirds, because there is a shadow to every success. And Jessica Dorr points to this in Tarot for Change and talks about Icarus as perhaps a warning when the 6 of Wands arises, that we can be victorious, we can even learn to fly, but if we fly too close to the sun, it all falls down. And so for me, I think of the 6 of Wands as an invitation to celebrate our successes and to always be redefining them. I want this card to be a moment where we can just bask in our victories, where we can appreciate ourselves and love ourselves and be proud of ourselves. And yet I do think it is also a card that invites us to check in with what success means, and to check in with how we really feel about that moment, because so many of our successes in our society turn out to be pretty hollow. So many moments where we reach the peak of what we thought was what we wanted and then realize we don't feel it. We have success, but we don't feel the emotions we thought might go along with it. That takes us back to the 2 of Wands. That moment of perhaps success without contentment, as Rachel Pollack put it for that card. So the 6 of Wands then is, as an evolved version of that, perhaps. In this moment, we have the success. It has arrived. So we get to check back in with that feeling. We get invited again to consider our success, this time while celebrating it. Thank you so much for joining me for this episode of my tiny tarot practice. As always, you can find links to the books and decks I've mentioned here in the show notes. Just check out my bookshop list, and if you make a purchase through that link, I will receive a small affiliate payment that helps me keep this podcast going. I hope that you have a wonderful, exuberant, victorious day. Talk soon.